All right, everybody. Well, thank you for coming to the 19th Annual World Veg Festival, hosted by, thank you, San Francisco Veg Society. This is a very special year for us this year because we are 50 years old. 1968 is when Frederick Baldus put an ad in the Chronicle. The title was Vegetarians Unite. And he had 30 people show up at his residence. And I don't know much more between then and when they elected a president and vice president, treasury, and a whole board and everything, which was about a year later. So they moved very quickly from that first meeting to a full-on fledged organization that became incorporated as a nonprofit in 1974. And then it took off from there. He remained president until 74. And to the left of Frederick is Dixie May, who most of you probably know. And she took over in 74, I guess 75, and remained president pretty much until I took over 5 years ago. So she had a pretty long run. And an amazing run, too. She, in 1970, so she was involved even before she became vice president. She started a newsletter that had continued on, well, until basically we took over because we stopped doing the print newsletter. We do like an email newsletter now. But she did I have some of those newsletters from back in the day, and they're beautiful. There's a lot of great information, and she promoted a lot of new vegan businesses or vegetarian businesses at the time, and it was really nice. So she really did a lot to help. Frederick kind of like built the organization from scratch, and then she kind of took over and put all the icing on the cake and really did an amazing job. So she was elected as president in 75. That's her around that time period. Here's another cute picture that was in our box of goodies. That's Frederick and his wife, and then Dixie and her husband, Stan May. How many knew Stan? Excellent. Oh, hi, Nancy. Nancy Lowen back here, and she knew, you were a part of the organization almost from the same time period. A little bit later? Yep. And all the way up until me and Pally took over 4 years ago, you were still vice president. So Nancy Lowen back here, let's give her a hand for being one of the stewards and making this organization really great. So, our mission statement, we are... Oh, wait. I want to do these pictures, too. These are great. They're having a potluck there. Look at Stan. Such a character. I love this picture, too. So in 1975, Dixie joined 2,000 people for the first North American-based 23rd World Vegetarian Congress of the International Vegetarian Union. That's a pretty long way of saying it's an international community, and they would pick a different city, country, every year to hold their World Vegetarian Congress, kind of like what we're doing here, except it's more of a worldly thing, and their organizations and a lot of people they follow them whatever city they go to, they attend or they volunteer and they help out. And so in 75 they came to the U.S. for the first time in Maine, and Dixie was a speaker there. I love the picture because it looks like they're going to Woodstock or something, doesn't it? It's like a vegetarian Woodstock that they're going to. I actually don't even know if she's in that car. It looks pretty packed. If she is, she might be in the front. And there's Dixie right as this year that she retired in 2014. As you can see, she's very fit, very active woman. She was doing tap dance for us. Typically at the festival, we'd have a stage and we'd have performers, and she'd get up there and do a tap dance routine. And I just talked with her a couple months ago. She's in Arkansas right now. Her health is still good, but she needs a little bit of assistance. So one of her great nieces that live over there, they're helping to care for her. But she seems that she's in good spirits, and she has a lot of energy, and she even talked about starting some kind of vegetarian group in Arkansas or something. I said, okay, Dixie, you go. Good luck with that. If anybody could do it, she could do it. Oh, gosh, she's got to be 85, 86. I think. I remember celebrating her 80th birthday about 5 years ago, so amazing, right? So this is another fortune that I found. It was the first World Vegetarian Day in 2000. And this was at Fort Mason. I think the first couple years they were held over there before they came over here. I think we've been here about 15 years now. And you can see, I don't know if you can see from where you're at, but I want to point out a couple of our speakers. John McDougall, of course, you guys know him. Alan Goldhammer, who's going to be presenting next, right? And Miyoko Patty Brightman, who's presenting today. So it's pretty amazing that, they were big then and they're still big now and still draw a crowd. I threw this picture in there. Patricia and Dave Coote, I want to give them a lot of credit for doing Wellness Central on Wednesday night. Some of you may go to those regularly. They do a vegan dinner with usually a live presentation, sometimes via video. And it's just wonderful. They do it regularly every single week. And then they do a great Thanksgiving dinner for everybody. And that's at the Opera Plaza in San Francisco here. So if you ever get a chance, it's great. Patricia, she's wonderful. She's doing a demo over here today. And her food is very healthy and nutritious and good. I'm sorry, I threw, that's a picture of me earlier today. I had to get my workout in. That's Monk, and he's going to be presenting with the Plant-Powered Brothers. They're vegan bodybuilders, and they're going to be talking about, being healthy in general. This is our mission statement. We promote the adoption of a plant-based diet and lifestyle for healthy, ethical, and sustainable living. We created the 4 symbols, the 4 tenets down below, to represent health, animals, the environment, health, animals, environment, and then humanity. And those are the main tenets that all of us are either vegetarian or vegan or on our way to becoming so because of one or all of those reasons. And for me, it's all of them. I work in the healthcare field. I'm a nurse practitioner, and about 20% of my time I get to do health education. I wish it was more, but I'm at least glad that I can do that. I work with cardiac and neuro patients that have had strokes. So of course the plant-based diet and lifestyle fits right nicely into that. And so I really enjoy that. I love the education part of it, and that's why I became involved with SFVS. Not so much for the administrative tasks and running it. I'd rather spend my time doing more of the outreach activities, which I just love. And I want to give props to Pat Lee, my spouse, who you guys probably know too. She's the brains. She's a treasurer. She handles the finance stuff. She's the organized one. So I take the credit for a lot, but she's actually behind almost everything that I do. So when you see her later, give her a pat on the back or thank her. This is our new logo, and I love it. It's really cool. Annie designed this for us, and it's got the plants and the leaves coming out. So I always say, like, Dixie, and when she was running the organization and the board, I mean, she just did a great job with getting everybody mobilized, having these great potlucks, and probably doing a little bit more than what we've been able to do because we're both working full-time in healthcare, and it's very time-consuming. So I wish we could do a little bit more of that. She was really about that a lot. But I think what me and Pat Lee have brought in our current board right now is just updating it to the 21st century, updating the logos, making things nicer, doing a lot of social media, updated our website. I don't know if you guys have seen that, or our World Veg Festival website is looking pretty good. This is our first Veg Committee meeting, so everybody here was part of this festival. So if you see them and you're out and about, thank them as well. It's a lot of work that goes into this. We started doing this about February or March. That was our first meeting. And we start getting our speakers involved about that same time period because some of our bigger speakers are booked, almost a year in advance. So a lot of work goes into it. This was at the library. Janet works there as a librarian. She's on our board as well. That's one of our other meetings at Cybelle's. That was a little more relaxed. We have really good vegan food. I don't know if you guys know Cybelle's, the front room over on 9th Avenue in the Sunset. They have a nice vegan menu now. It's wonderful. It's really great. They do pizza and a lot of other great items, and it's really good. There's Annie right back here. She's our designer. Wave hi, Annie. She does an amazing job. You'll notice our logos the past couple of years she has done. She puts together our programs, and and helps us with designing banners and things like that. So I threw this picture in there. We got to meet Sea Shepherd Captain Watson, right? Is that right? God, I'm drawing a blank. Help me out. Watson, right? Okay. From the Sea Shepherd. We were at the CowCon a couple months ago. Oh, man, if you ever get a chance to hear him speak, please do. I mean, I kind of knew with the Sea Shepherd what they were doing to, basically protect our oceans, which are very vulnerable. You guys know that. But, I mean, just amazing things that they have done as an organization. It's just crazy to hear. Another design that we designed for Pride. And so I'm just going to go through some of these slides quickly to kind of show some of the things that we've done this year, some of our outreach activities. This is our setup for Pride. We had a very prominent location. You can see we're right on the corner of Polk. And that was we're right at kitty corner from the City Hall. There's Monk and Kat. They're going to be part of the Plant Powered Brothers today. They came out, donated their time, and took pictures. We had signs made. They took pictures with people. Oh, what a great idea. That was Alex's idea. And it just draws people over. They want their pictures on Facebook and things like that. So we had family of vegans that showed up. That's really great because the outreach activity is great, especially at events like this because people are out having a good time. But they see a table like this and they're like, oh yeah, I'm interested, or I'm vegetarian, or I want to be, and they want to come up and talk to us about their journey. And we have handouts too, information that we like to give out. That was a cute shirt. I like that. Vegan Strong. Where do I get my protein? That was a good one for our plant-powered brothers. Okay, we did the climate march. Well, it was climate, jobs, and some other things, but we primarily focused on the climate aspect of it. And we had a really great turnout. That's our long 40-foot banner that Dan Brook had made, actually for Earth Day, and then this event came up, and we're like, oh, we can use that banner again for that. And when he first came up with the idea of a 40-foot long banner, I'm like, what? That doesn't make sense. What are we going to use that for? And his idea was snaking around. It'll really get a lot of attention. But it just so happened it worked out great for this event. That's great, isn't it? You can't comb over climate change. It worked out great because we marched down Market Street, which is 40 foot or longer, and so we got to span the whole way, and it really got a lot of attention. A lot of news and media people were able to capture that. So it was a great turnout. I mean, you can see look at all the banners back there. That wasn't just all our group, obviously. There's Market, so there's Dan on the end, and we're all holding it coming across. Avoiding meat and dairy is the single biggest way to reduce your impact on Earth. You guys all know that. A lot of people don't. A lot of people call themselves environmentalists, but they don't make that connection, or they don't want to make that connection. And then we finished our march over by City Hall again. We had a table over there where we were doing outreach. So we were able to really get our banner out there. That's our table with Christy and Dan. And then, so we had some cards made up a couple years ago, which is great for our outreach events, one for each of the 4 tenets. This is our environmental one. I'm not going to read all through those, but we have those over at our table. They're great. I really encourage you to take a handful. We have a ton of them. Share them with people. If you're out and about, give them to family and friends. They're great talking points. For example, like eating meat contributes to the destruction of rainforest. 80% of the annual world's deforestation is related to animal agriculture. Okay? It just opens up that conversation. A typical meat eater consumes food in one day that requires about 4,000 gallons of water to produce, compared to 1,200 for an ovo-lacto vegetarian and 300 for a vegan. All right, that's mind-blowing, So these are facts too. These are scientific facts that we've gotten from reputable sources. So grab some for each one: the health, the animals, humanity. We recently, a couple weeks ago, Dr. Blake was in town, and we had a nice event at the Google space for nonprofits, which they donate to nonprofits. Every 3 months, you can rent the space out. You can have 150 people there. So we're going to take advantage of that and have other functions over there. This worked out great because we did a dinner and a talk, which is a really great combination. We had it catered by Cybel's from their vegan menu. There you can see some of the food. We had the lasagna at Cybel's is amazing. I highly recommend it. It's made with eggplant. It's got like a smoky flavor. And they make their own cheese in-house too. I feel like I'm a commercial for Cybel's. They're not paying me, I swear. Yeah, it's Cybelles. CYB. Hi, George, Carol. We had a pretty good turnout. Dr. Blake signing books afterwards. My mother-in-law. There's Patley, if you didn't know what she looked like, and with the dress on, and then that's her mother that she came out. Oh yeah, so there's Nancy, Loan, and Joyce, and they did the breast cancer. Go ahead. African American Breast Cancer Conference. You guys have been doing that for years now, and it's a great opportunity to do outreach over there because that is really needed. That kind of education about diet and lifestyle is really needed, especially with cancer patients and cancer survivors. There they are again. Okay, so here's Earth Day. This is a great event that we've been doing the last couple years. We're doing a Sustainable Chef Zone where we are in charge of getting our vegan chefs in our community to come out and do food demos. And there's Jillian Love, there's their sign again. James Sant, who he's going to be doing a demo over here, doing the same thing that he did on Earth Day, which was amazing. He did ceviche with, I don't even remember. It's in the book, but I recommend having it. It's super good. RG, she's also presenting today, doing a Filipino, probably a stew. This is a great event. Earth Day is great because a lot of people, obviously, that are going to Earth Day are concerned about the environment, and this is another way that we can help make that connection between what we eat and our environment. There's our table. This was awesome. I don't know if anybody saw that this last year if you were here at our festival, but my friend Tyrone took this picture. This is our courtyard. This is at the festival. And I don't know who was doing that heart or who it was for, but it was perfect. It was great. It was at the end of the day. Oh, this is a great picture. She didn't know I was taking a picture, but this is Cowspiracy. If you haven't seen Cowspiracy, you have to go see it. I highly recommend it. It makes a connection between animal agriculture and our environment, how destructive it is to both our air and our water and our soil, everything. And she's educating herself while eating an ice cream cone. I loved it. I was like, I'm going to sneak up and get this picture. It's so cool. Maybe that was her last ice cream. Who knows? Probably not, but we could be positive. All right, there we are in front of City Hall. That was our March. Oh, and then just a couple days ago, we did the first, not first, but Animal Film Festival tour. They're from Grass Valley. The big one is a 2-day festival in February. It's going to be February 9th and 10th next year. And I haven't been, but I think we're going to go this year because they had 22 films last year, 2-day event, and then after that they go on tour throughout the whole U.S. And they asked if we would want to co-host with them at the Roxy, and we said, of course. It leads up to our festival. It'd be a great way to get your films out there. So the Roxy is a really great event for these, and we had a good turnout. Those are some of the movies that we're showing. Although St. Louis 6 did not. I saw it at Sonoma County because they played over there, and that's a really good movie. Anyways, Killing Games had a couple scenes in there that were hard to watch. All right. Thank you very much for everybody if you're an SFVS member, thank you so much. If you just attend our festivals every year, thank you very much. Your funds and donations goes towards our outreach events and to put this great festival on every year, and we are planning on continuing that and hopefully maybe expanding and doing more outreach as well. I wanted to close with this. Happy 50th SFVS, and that's Dixie and JC, who JC was our treasurer for a long time, and he was another one that had been one of our pillars here. So I think that's all I have. You guys are going to have a wonderful time today. We have so many great speakers. If there's conflicts and you wanted to see somebody else but you can't see both, they're going to be on YouTube probably about a week later. So I'll send an email out, but look for San Francisco Veg Society YouTube channel. Subscribe to that, and then you'll get not only this year's speakers, but years past too. I don't know how many years we go back, but many years we've been putting them on YouTube, and so it's a great way to watch them for free. So thank you again for coming out. I really appreciate it.